So there's so much wind when I was out recording the video that I'm going to sort of redo the voice narration at home so that you will be able to, won't have to deal with all the wind noise. So I first wanted to show the general condition of the backstay with the topping lift attached. At this point, the mast is centered, but the stays have not been tensioned, and so under that condition, the backstay is kind of a little bit loose and floppy, as you can see. And interestingly enough, this is with the turnbuckle almost taken up completely, with no more room to tighten. The only way to actually get this stay any tighter is to would be to increase the tension on the forestay at this point. Now this is a view up the top of the mast, and I'm trying to zoom in on it there, as you can see. And it does not appear that fitting is bent or distorted in any way. That's the best I can do to zoom in on that, both from the view from the bow and from the stern. The fitting looks to be pretty normal and not bent down or bent back. So now I'm going to release the boom completely, lower it down into the cockpit so that there's no load of it at all on the mast. So I'm just going to do that. Sorry about the fingers and the thumb. Excuse me, the Android phone is a little bit persnickety when it comes to exactly how it's being held. So now I have the boom released, and you can kind of see that there is a bit more tension on the backstay. So this was a learning experience for me, that the really all of the rigging on the boat interacts with each other, with the whole system. You make one little change somewhere, it's going to affect everything. So now I'm setting up the measurement system following the advice of the article, and you can see that I've got a cable tie set up so that the end of the tape is right up against the bottom of the main halyard shackle, if that's the right terminology for that fitting there. And when I hoist it, I can usually arrange for that shackle part to go into that slot where you're seeing the halyard coming out of right now. Seems to work out quite well. And with that result, then the end of the tape is more or less impinging on the bottom of that fitting. So as far as I can see, that's the highest you could possibly get it to be. Okay, so now it looks like I've got it hoisted up, and I guess I'm probably struggling with the thumbs and fingers in the camera and the wind. You can see the extent to which the wind is blowing out the tape. So I guess by my reckoning, that's going to have the effect of over measuring. So the apparent measurement is going to really be longer than it actually is, and especially in the longer distance from the head of the mast to the transom. Sorry about that persistent finger in the way there. I've not gotten used to holding this camera. So I'm going to do this transom measurement as best I can. I think I had trouble sort of getting the camera located at some point where you could actually sort of see the measurement. But I guess you can see that it's hitting the edge of the transom somewhere just shy of the full 28 feet, maybe 27 feet, 11 and a half inches. Bearing in mind, of course, that the tape is being lengthened somewhat by the effect of the wind. So the actual distances would be shorter than that. So now I'm going to check the measurements on the port side and on the starboard side. See how that comes out. So here's the measurement on the port side, and to the bottom of the turnbuckle, it looks like it's coming in somewhere around 307 inches on the port side, as best I can do it. And then over to the starboard side, there we go, about the same, about 307 inches, allowing for the wind and everything. Probably pretty close.
Okay, some of you had in your responses had mentioned the necessity of having a pipe to support the mast from the top of the cabin, and it appears that I do have this this animal right here. There's the top of it, and then I guess it goes all the way down there to the bottom of the boat. I didn't pull it up, but I mean, this is a 2000 Mariner, so I'm assuming that you're familiar with that aspect of it. So this thing is in place and appears to be doing what it's supposed to do.
So here's my first setup of the loose gauge on the starboard side, and the scale seems to be reading around 6 at the moment, which is a little bit loose according to the calibration for the 1/8 inch cable, which looks like it should be around 11% in order to get about 240 pounds. So I've got a ways to go in tightening that. And there I've got about that reading now on the starboard side. I found that it does kind of move a little bit. Could be the effect of the wind, or perhaps I need to add some lubrication. Here it is on the port side, just under 10. So probably just needs a little bit of tightening. And here we are on the starboard side again. Still looks pretty good in terms of that tension. Now, just sort of going back and forth, it looks like it got a little bit over tightened there. And I believe I also kept continuing to measure the length, port to starboard, and so I think I came up a bit short on this side. So I loosened it off just a little bit. Now just sort of checking on the condition of the backstay, and it looks like it's not flopping around too terribly much.
Okay, here I am, slightly calmer conditions, so hopefully there won't be a whole lot of noise from the wind. And this is having completed the tuning last night, except for the lower shrouds. And basically what I found with those was that if I started taking up tension on them, I would get to a point where the tension on the upper shrouds would actually decrease slightly. So basically left the lower shrouds unloaded. Upper shrouds are tightened to the recommended 240, and the forestay a little bit less than that, but somewhere around there. And you can kind of see that the backstay here is fairly loose, not exactly flopping around, but there is plenty of clearance between the lower part of the boom and the backstay, and the boom is in the position pretty much as it is with the sail up. Match that, and then if you kind of track the distance between the stays all the way up to the This Android phone has got buttons in the wrong place. Up to the top there, you can pretty much see the gap, and I wish there was a way I could improve on getting that upper fitting there, but I'll see if I can zoom in on it with software later. So nice light breeze. Matter of fact, you can see there's a couple of boats out there that are virtually becalmed. It's supposed to be a 7-knot breeze out of the east, and it may be that way in the sound, and here in the pond we're kind of sheltered, so I'll probably motor out to the sound and see if there's any breeze out there. To be continued. So here is the get sort of siding up. I'm standing on the port side of the boat, and the sail is hoisted up almost all the way to the top, and you can see that the leech there is kind of snagged, and yeah, I can get it loose by just kind of fiddling with it. And maybe, as one sailor said who wrote in, that's just kind of expected behavior, and you kind of have to live with it. You can see, though, from the top of the mast, that it's pretty much all the way up there. The shackle in the top of the main is pretty much impinging upon that black piece of hardware that the backstay is attached to. So that's kind of the state as it is with the rig, I believe. Oh, here we go again. Another kind of a view of it, and it actually sort of freed itself fairly easily there. So perhaps if I do go ahead and get some shroud covers, as one of the folks suggested, that will help. Anyway, there's an extremely light breeze, so I think I might just take her for a sail, and maybe out in the Sound we'll have a bit more luck.